Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Eric May, and on behalf of OTC Markets, as well as our co-host Skyline Corporate Communications, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from Charbone Hydrogen Corporation, a green hydrogen group developing modular and expandable hydrogen facilities in regional hubs. Please note, you can submit questions in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view the company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Schedule Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I am very pleased to welcome Daniel Charette, Chief Operations Officer of Charbone Hydrogen Corporation, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol CHHYF. It's also on the TSXV under the symbol CH. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Eric. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for attending this session and presentation from Charbone Hydrogen. Charbone Hydrogen represents a very great an opportunity to invest in green hydrogen. We do believe at Charbone that green hydrogen represents a way to decarbonize the world, as we've been using hydrogen for a very long time in the past, majorly green hydrogen. So Charbone really represents a couple of investment highlights here, where Charbone has been in operation for about 3 years, 1 year now on the TSX market. It's a kind of a rare opportunity to invest in, as we are a pure play green hydrogen producer. It's the only product that we do market. We are generally mitigating all the risk of our project by starting small and growing with the market. Charbone has seen an enormous market, as the green hydrogen represent one of the most element that will have a future to decarbonize hard to abate polluting sectors such as industrial processes and mobility. We have a very unique business model that is coming from our past experience in renewable energy for the last 25 years, where we do understand the difficulties and the problem related to the grid and to the transmission and distribution of energy in North America. So our way of developing project is generally to be highly opportunistic on where the availability of reliable and available low-cost renewable energy is available on the grid, as well as there where we have access to actual basin of gray hydrogen users. The hydrogen represent actually about 99% of the overall market of hydrogen. Producing a gray hydrogen from a steam methane reforming is a highly polluting process, where for each kilogram of hydrogen produced, you are producing about 10 kilograms of carbon. As all the governments are putting, I would say, new subsidies and new obligation to reduce pollution and to decarbonize the world, such as the RRA in US. I guess the point is, how do we decarbonize about 45% reduction by 2030? It's a dynamic market where everyone is talking about hydrogen these days. And like stated earlier, the point to make green hydrogen, it's much efficient to reduce the decarbonization than the gray hydrogen. The market is exponential, actually, and Charbone has in its plan to really focus on decarbonizing and participating into the development of regional hubs. The reason for why we believe that regional hubs are better than very large hub, it's the difficulty of transporting the hydrogen. It's always easier to move green electron on the wires than it is to move the green molecule on transportation. Both federal on both sides of the border on US or in Canada have subsidies that will be available either on the ITC and PTC on US, and tax income credit on CapEx in Canada that have been already announced, reducing and de-risking the financing of our project, and certainly making them more attractive. Our Charbone's markable service, actually, like I stated earlier, is based on the migration of actual industrial users from gray hydrogen to green hydrogen. Many of those users are currently under different RFPs where they need to really describe their decarbonation processes. Secondly, Charbone is getting prepared for the transport and the mobility sector, which should be better to transport with certainly the heavy transportation where the battery are really reducing the weight of the truck and do have long charging time where the use of hydrogen into the transportation and the general mobility is much more effective on the refueling time and the autonomy without reducing transportation of the good uh, this time. So Charbone is working on a network of smaller facility across North America. Charbone has already under construction its first project in Quebec, which is called Sorel-Tracy, 50 minutes east of Montreal. And we have announced already three other projects located as well in Canada, in just north of Winnipeg, another one in Nova Scotia, and a fourth one on the north shore of the St. Lawrence uh, River in Baie-Comeau. All the other projects that we've been working on have been identified, and we are working to secure land and be able to pursue the development of these projects. The first two projects that Charbone has been developing and is working on as our priority number one is the Sorel-Tracy, which has been under construction and under preparation for over 12 months. All the components have already been ordered and they are ready for delivery. Charbone do intend to start the production before the end of the year 2023. Charbone has also an off-taker for all its hydrogen from this facility through its distributor, Superior Propane, Superior Plus. It's the same for the Selkirk, Manitoba project, where Charbone do intend to start the project within the next couple of months and do production during 2024. I just stated the name of Superior Plus, Superior Propane, which is the number one in Canada and number three in North America of distribution of propane. We are the only independent green hydrogen producer to have an off-taker for all our hydrogen. The reason for why we selected Superior Plus is because we will be leveraging our collective experience, ours in the production and formatting of the hydrogen, Superior in their network for distribution, which is taking account about 780,000 customers in North America through their distribution network as well. The Superior Plus did announce few weeks ago that they have acquired another distribution company called Certarus, which is already distributing some gray hydrogen in the market in the US. Charbone has many partnerships to execute its business model. Charbone has an investment banker in New York, Maxim Group, in Canada, Desjardins, with the partnership for the commercial distribution Superior Plus. We do have engineering partnership to BBA in Quebec, and we do have other partners for the major components, such as Resato for the hydrogen refueling stations, Elogen for an Accelera division of Cummins to be supplying the major components and electrolyzers. We do have, we believe, a superior competitive advantage. As we have started 3 years and a half ago, we do believe that we are the most advanced company on many projects and the know-how on green hydrogen. We are building and developing decentralized scalable plant close to end users to reduce our transportation cost. We do found a lot of places in North America where to have low cost renewable energy sources and reliable sources of that energy. Stable and reliable baseload is the key to Charbone projects, which reduce our overall cost and sell price of green hydrogen. Charbone has obtained the eco-responsible certification last year, and each of the individual project is going through a certification process. All production will certainly be sold through our partner, Superior Plus. We do not have really any other companies that are a pure play like Charbone is on the market actually. We do have some very large competitor that are diluted into a more mature play, but not pure play on green hydrogen. Many of those other company as well that are on the public market actually are more manufacturer of components and not green hydrogen pure play producer. The management team is formed of a couple of people that have been in the renewable industry for a long time. Dave has been there for about 25 years. For myself, been in renewable energy for about 30 years. And Benoit Veilleux, our CFO, is our CFO, new CFO since about 8 months. And he has been a former financial department guy from Air Liquide. I guess the slide will be available to share after this presentation. Charbone did enter through an RTO on May 3rd, the TSX market under the ticker CH with 20 million market cap at 40 cents. Right now, it should represent a great opportunity to invest on the market today. All these numbers are available, of course, by sending an emails or a question to Benoit or myself. There has been a couple of comparable companies that are, again, like we stated, there's no so many pure play on green hydrogen, so it's difficult to have a great comparison between Charbone and other competitor on the market. So thank you very much for your time. You can communicate easily with Charbone, and Charbone is really happy to really present an image of what would be the Sorel-Tracy plant on the above picture, which is actually under construction. And Charbone has also planned in the near future to develop his own branding on green hydrogen distribution for mobility under the Snowgas brand. So thank you again, and looking forward to answer your question. I guess it's the time to answer some of your questions that have been sent to the Q&A box. The first question was, what are the costs and timeline to bring a new planned project online? For the first part of the question, the general rule of thumb for our project, because we are always starting in a range of the 2.5 megawatt sizes, so which provide about 1 ton per day capacity, we would be talking in a range between 6 and 7 million US dollar per project. That is giving a good base to start with a modular approach on a brownfield site that doesn't require extensive permitting. For the second part of the question, to bring a project online, I guess the two major points for Charbone, or the three major points I would say, is major component delivery, which on these days required 10 to 12 months a pre-order of the major components. The interconnection of the project itself would generally take, depending of the local utility, between 2 months to 12 months, and the permitting, whatever it's environmental, local, municipal, state, or state, I would say that this is highly depending. In Texas, it could be 2 weeks. In other area, it could be 12 months. Some other maybe some other states where it's the evaluation will take more time. It could be a little bit longer, but generally, a maximum of 12 months to implement a project is more than enough on a brown site project. Uh, the other question is, can you speak to your capital position and how you will finance multiple projects? This question would be answered by the work that we are doing actually on Wall Street with our investment banker, Maxim Group. I guess Maxim has some ideas to bring funds onto the table to be able to finance each of the individual projects as we are moving forward. We would like to have a war chest that will give the ability of Charbone to select and to prioritize some of the projects in emerging markets where it's required. Another question is, what are your key milestones over the next 12 months? The first key milestone is to produce the green hydrogen for our first facility in Sorel-Tracy. We are putting all our resources, actually technical and financial, toward this goal. And we have already received all the individual cylinders to fill up. We have access to some of tube trailer right now to be ready to supply the green hydrogen to our single customer Superior Propane, which will be delivering to existing users. So our first milestone is to hit that production target this year. And next year, I would say the next milestone will be to kick off some of the other projects that have already been announced and start working on them to be able to have at least 2 projects, probably online late 2024, early 2025. The other question is, hi Daniel, can you tell us about the Gossin deal falling through? I guess this question is still pending the arbitrage. We will not be extending into this, but if you have been following Gossin, you've probably been seeing some of delay into some of the project, and Charbone really decided to concentrate itself and focusing on the development of and the deployment of production project. So we will not be able to answer more this question. I guess right now there's no more question on the Q&A table. I don't see question 5 actually. Here's question 5. Okay. Oops. This question 5 is, you have some large hydrogen competitor. Sorry for that. I just need to make it larger here. I have some large competitor. How does Charbone win? I guess the point, even though if there are very large competitor on the actual market, I guess Charbone new projects will be running on, in some cases, at lower cost of CapEx and OpEx. That is given an advantage where Charbone is also using its a network of established distribution center to be able to lower the cost. So we have seen already in the market that Charbone is highly competitive on the price of green hydrogen, even without having a prime on the green. So generally the pricing on hydrogen is established on a customer base to base, and we do believe again that we'll be able to compete against any green hydrogen. Question number 6, can you speak to the port contract and the scope there? To the port contract. Charbone, and again, if we're talking about the port, we don't have any contract yet with any ports. We are in discussion, and we have been responding to several ports' requests for information on specific Charbone project. Of course, Charbone has a project pool list, which is highly extensive, and we need to just prioritize those projects. But at this point in time, we do not have any specific project with the port, otherwise than the Bécomo port. If you were referring to this project, the port of Bécomo is only part of the project itself, because it's the town and the port of Bécomo, and it's certainly not for domestic, certainly not for exportation, but more for decarbonizing the port itself at some point. But there's no specific contract with the port. It's only to install a Charbone facility. What are the expected H2 demand on those ports for shipping, channel, and freight? Actually, I would say that anything that is requiring exportation is far away in Charbone development. It's right now there's no really any marine application existing in North America that will allow in short term or mid-term Charbone, nor to supply those marine app or to export. The sizes of our facility in short term are more in the range of 1 ton to 5 ton per day. That typically will not be enough for shipment. And at this point, the management of Charbone do not believe in short-term export to foreign market. Not certainly green hydrogen. Next question, number 8. What are you seeing in items of green hydrogen demand from the fuel cell vehicle industry? Charbone is foreseeing a large market into the heavy mobility, Class 8 trucks, and other transportation as well. I would say that in the midterm, we would see certainly rail application coming in, whatever is fuel cell or / internal combustion engine, which apply as well to Class 8 trucks on highway trucks. Charbone as well as just acquired 3 Hyundai Nexo and has an agreement with a Quebec-based gasoline distributor called Filgo Sonic to implement a refueling station along a major highway and to provide them with refueling station for green hydrogen. So we did not announce yet any project for refueling station, but we do have an agreement to deploy and develop those corridors along major highways. So if there's no other question, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Hope we did answer all your questions. We understand as well that there's some opening to have one-to-one discussion with Benoit or with myself. So please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be pleased to explain our different financing opportunity in the near future and how we are foreseeing more projects to come alive and how we do develop. One thing I should have mentioned maybe earlier, Charbone is also part of the New York Governor Initiative on the Northeast Hub. Charbone is also part of the MAC H2 hub that regroup Midwest states, as well as the CHHYF hub in California. All those hubs will be bidding in the $8 billion DOE initiative for hubs, and our projects are not pending those DOE funding, more as individual projects. Actually, we are more looking at building our own network outside of the finance hub by the DOE, which would probably go faster on the deployment phase. Thank you very much for your time today, and have a great day. Thank you.